Hello, welcome to the vlog. Angles are weird again. Oh, okay. Sorry. I don't think I've ever had the exact same frame. Twice in a row. Makes two forks, you see, snappy. But anyway, how are you all? Yes, I'm doing it in the daytime. Himself has a meeting. He's got his speech group tonight. And he's actually, I didn't realise he's off work tonight, because normally he goes to that and then goes straight to work, which means I get can do more. But no, tonight he's coming back, so definitely need to get this done sooner rather than later. Sorry, this is just a plastic token I'm playing with. If you ever wonder why I'm talking, sometimes I'm kind of feeling like, for the most part I'm kind of finding my voice, and I can just sit here and talk to you. I mean, I know sometimes I still look around, but sometimes it's just tired or because I'm seeing what's over there. But I do sometimes still play with things that are in front of me, and this is just like a Tesco thingy. I think they give them out to people because they do like the charity. They have like the 3 different things. It's like, which charity do you want us to give money to this month? And you put the coins in. But I think they also fit with the trolley tokens. So you can use them as trolley tokens as well. Do you guys do that, like wherever you are living from watching this? You have like the tokens you put in the trolley, so you're basically renting the trolley for your trip. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, work was work. I'm working in tomorrow. It looks like it is going to be regular. We'll see what happens. So yeah, it's just gotten hot again. It was nice over the weekend. We had all the rain. It broke it a little bit, and now it's getting hotter and hotter again. It's like 24 at the moment. At 20 past 7. 20 past 7, you should start cooling down again. But oh well. It was kind of an incident. Someone I usually have banter with, he was like teasing me about something. He like grabbed a hold of my barrow and I was like, "Oh, stop it, you prat!" He goes, "What did you say?" I said, "You heard, you prat. Don't you call me." Anyway, he started getting really serious face. Like, "You say that, I'm going to talk to, my supervisor, and I'll make sure you never work in this town again." I'm like, "Right, yeah, sorry, no, I'll just tell you, no, fine, sorry, fine, whatever." And I just, because I don't want the conflict, and it was the end of the day, I couldn't be asked. But my young lady next to me, she was like, "Well, should have touched you then?" I said, to be fair, he didn't touch me, he just put his hand on the barrow, but even if he did, he just put his hand on my arm or my shoulder. I've known this guy for years. It's not like I'll take an offence to it, but is Pratt, and I've always thought, because I said, I could have said worse. Who would have say it? Like, is Pratt like suddenly the really offensive word? Because last I checked, it isn't. In fact, even my young friend, she was like, "Fucking Pratt," I was like, I'm sure we call each other, called him worse. I'm sure we call each other worse, like the group of us that regularly work together. I'm sure we call each other worse at least once a week, if not once a day. So yeah, and I thought we were having bants, and he's like, "Don't say that, don't call me." So is he offended at the word, or just the fact that I sort of kind of stood up and said, "Don't, stop being an idiot." Like, I don't know. And even if he misheard me and thought I called him a twat, so what? Like I said, that's a word I don't use often, but it's a word that I've used with other mates. It's like, "Oh, give me here, you prat," stop being such a twat. Come on, like just with the banter, and he got all serious face. So basically, I'm gonna talk to supervisor. I'm gonna say to him, "Look, okay, a thing happened." Because I said to the other guy that was with us, because there were 3 of us working this afternoon, and you know his name, because I've never talked to him. So alright, fair enough. So I will talk to supervisor, and basically everyone thinks all that the supervisor's going to do is like, "Alright, whatever, don't worry about it." But if I get in preemptively and say, "Look, a thing happened," and he can say, "Alright, thanks for letting me know." But even if he did, he'd be like, "What? And? So, why did she say that to you? Oh, you were interfering with her barrow, were you? Well then don't do that, because you're interfering with my staff." So, I don't know. It's not really annoyed me, it's just kind of like, where did that even come from? What, why? What? Sorry, it was over that side. What was even? I thought. No, serious face. So anyway, that was today. Questions. Question time. Let's see. I do need to remember to turn the page over, but then I kind of spoil myself, so I don't want to. Okay, this is like a weird question. I'll read it out for you first, and then we'll break it down. If you could go back in time and relive the fashion from another era, what era would you most like to dress in? Oh, okay, I thought it meant revive, as in revive, you know, the fashion that existed. So, well, if you're already in the era, then you don't need to revive it because it's already there. I am not girly girl. I think we've discussed this before. But, as also discussed before, I'm a huge fan of Art Deco. I love the Art Deco thing. So, I kind of would like to go back to the 20s. Back at the height of like the flapper fashions. And those dresses. Because some of those dresses are quite like, they're pretty formless. But some of those dresses and like, I mean, you know, I'd have to have my hair cut super short. I mean, what would it be? What would kind of like the bob, kind of like there? I mean, that doesn't look too bad, does it? So yeah, I would, that kind of, because it is quite, I wouldn't want to go too much further back where they, you know, constantly corseted and stuff like that, or you know, tight clothing, and certainly like for flapper dresses and some of them. I mean, yes, some of them are more form-fitting, and like, you know, some of those dresses from that era could be more. But I guess that's more like what you choose to wear. But like the flapper dress particularly looks quite loose and you know, just free flowing. So that's kind of cool. And like they have the hats and the headdresses and really kind of elegant, sort of easy elegance. I've tried listening to jazz, like different forms of jazz, and in small doses I'm thinking, alright, I can deal with this. Like, I've mentioned before, I'm a huge fan of the BioShock games, partly because I actually do genuinely enjoy the story, and I don't mind the action. I don't play a lot of first-person shooter, so this is like one of the few that I will sort of sit and play for hours, and in fact have replayed it. But in the context that they do have that background music, and it is, you know, it's there. I've tried listening to some of the songs that play on that in isolation just to listen to them, and they're okay, but after a while I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't want to listen to this anymore. I've said before, I'm a big fan of Greatest Showman. I need to watch that again actually, but I've got the soundtrack. And one of the things that was said about it, and it wasn't specifically aimed at that one, it just happened to be the next one online. I believe The Great Gatsby, I haven't watched it yet, the DiCaprio version, has a hip hop soundtrack. And like another period, I haven't seen, oh, what was the one? La La Land. I haven't seen La La Land either, but apparently that has an anachronistic soundtrack as well. Like, you know, isn't atypical music for typical music for the time period. But I was thinking about especially, I think, in terms of the chronology, Greatest Showman probably is the oldest in terms of the time it was set. You know, for that time, so it would have been pre-19th century. I don't know. In the context of the movie, the songs that not necessarily from that period, but evocative of that period, probably would work in the context of the film and be quite enjoyable. But I can't imagine the soundtrack being a huge sell. I mean, it is still like in the top 10 when you walk into HMV or somewhere. Like, you know, it's still up there, like, as you know, the top sellers. And that's because it is a big, bombastic, you know, modern soundtrack. And yeah, so you could argue that, well, you know, the music should match the era that the movie's set in. Yeah, but you think about classic Disney movies, and you've got your Baby Mine and some of those other songs that from Temper from the music, like I'm Wishing from Snow White. It's the earliest one. How many people do you hear singing I'm Wishing? And how many people do you hear singing Let It Go? And I think, in terms of their timelines, they're about the same as well. Give or take a couple of decades. So yeah. I don't know how I got into music from fashion. I'll just follow the timeline. Following the thing. But yeah, I was saying about jazz. 1920s era, like the actual, jazz era, not necessarily deco-y, because not all of it is, deco-inspired fashions. But that kind of jazz hall. I was recently rewatching Cat's Meow, which is a beautiful film. Like, it's an enjoyable story anyway. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's loads of celebrities, including Charlie Chaplin, Tom Ince, Marion Davies, on a cruise, hosted by William Randolph Hearst. So it's really beautiful. It's a beautifully shot film because you've got the the beautiful Art Deco backgrounds and props and everything. And then all the costumes are black and white. Everyone's wearing black and white. There's a few creams just to break out, like maybe like a darker greys. But it's black and white costuming, and I was just looking at that and going, oh, that's so pretty. Like any one of those dresses I'd be happy to wear. So yeah, 1920s jazz era, flapper, Art Deco inspired fashion. Yeah, I'd love that. That would be a lot of fun to wear. Alright, so this has been a ramble. Less serious than yesterday's ramble, so there's that. So yeah, as always, thanks for watching. I've been Michelle, you've been listening, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye! Follow me. Bye!